I would be great being neighbors with Janelle or Mary or even Christine, to be honest. I still have hopes for Mary and Kody, and definitely with Janelle and Kody.
I see it highly unlikely that I would ever build on the property.
The classic martyr act. She says one thing with her mouth, but her face is screaming something totally different. Honestly, all she's really thinking is, sure, I'd love to take their money and their land. Just don't expect me to actually like them. For someone who's been holed up with her kids since Vegas, it's downright disgusting how she's managed to convince them they were never truly welcome. Considering how the adult kids talked about the family last season, and how they all went to the same college, it's pretty clear that Robyn fed them this whole outsiders narrative, and even Kody bought it hook, line, and sinker. She never bothered to build any kind of connection with Janelle or Christine and Mary. She barely saw her, so honestly, what was even the point? She wouldn't even let Mary come over during the COVID shutdown, even when Mary was following all the rules and stuck at home alone. She seriously baffles me. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. I just finished Season 4, Episode 1. And surprise, surprise, Gabe and Garrison threw down. Literally, Gabe accidentally clocked Garrison right in the nose, causing an impromptu bloodbath. Classic sibling rivalry, right? Janelle, ever the peacemaker, forced them into a reluctant hug to make up. Then Kody, dropping some wisdom, said, "Brace yourself. 8 years from now, they'll grow up and probably learn to communicate this. But it's very important they understand that when you do this at my age, you go to jail." Because nothing says fatherly advice like a threat of incarceration for a sibling scuffle. Honestly, I don't know why, but this whole scene actually made me tear up, especially after everything that's happened lately. Weird to feel so sad over a fight on a reality show, but here we are. I'm on my first watch of the show, and it's a strange experience. I already know bits and pieces from the internet drama surrounding the family, which makes watching the episodes feel kind of surreal. Right now, I'm at the part where they visit a Christian polygamist family for spring break. Kody's all about respect and obedience, calling himself the sergeant. Meanwhile, Garrison throws shade with, "People have shot their sergeants when they don't want to obey." Ah, hindsight, the gift that keeps on giving. Watching the family now is so bizarre. I really do feel for them. On my rewatch, seeing clips of Garrison is jarring. He's that awkward middle kid, not quite old enough for the teen interviews, but not a cute little kid either. Like they show the oldest teens or the little ones at daddy-daughter dances, but Garrison kind of floats in between. He even got a brief birthday shout out once, so middle child vibes to the max. On a totally unrelated note, Savannah was such an adorable little kid. Seeing her sweet face back then is heartbreaking, knowing the pain she's dealing with now. I had to pause my rewatch just thinking about it. It even made me remember when Garrison texted TLC saying he wanted to hate them for showing the good times. Kody seemed like a different person back then, maybe just for the cameras, but it still makes my heart ache for the whole family. And Gabe, oh boy, he was such a hothead and little pistol, even though Garrison was older. Gabe was the firecracker, while Garrison was more chill. I even remember that epic scene in Season 5 where Gabe slammed the door after they got in trouble for fighting over a video game. At least they mellowed out with age, but man, Gabe was something else as a kid. Aurora has panic attacks, like the ones we see on camera, 4 to 5 times a week. 4 to 5 times. Seriously, what the actual hell? How is this kid not on medication? This is completely debilitating, and yet here we are, watching it all unfold like it's some casual family drama. It honestly feels like we're witnessing Kody's straight-up neglect these kids' medical needs on camera. Remember how he put Lisa through those excruciating exercises and braces for her scoliosis? Yeah, that wasn't exactly kindness in action. I'm willing to bet he's dead set against Aurora getting anxiety meds too. And honestly, there are probably even more medical horrors we don't know about. Oh, and let's not forget his little denial act with Dayton's autism. Why pretend it doesn't exist? Because the Brown clan, every single one of them, would rather blow their cash on flashy cars, sofas, computers, and those ridiculously ugly custom dresses, hats, and cakes than on health insurance or real medical treatment. And for their kids. Priorities, right? And here's another gem. Kody basically can't leave the house because he has to stick around for Aurora's weekly panic attacks. He's tied down at Robyn's place by multiple kids who won't let him out of their sight for one reason or another, while the others are just left to fend for themselves. Charming. As someone who's been estranged from a parent, let me just say, my estrangement only ended because he died. So no healing or making amends happened, because, well, spoiler alert, you can't fix a closed door when the person's 6 feet under. Now, I genuinely hope Kody manages to grow up a bit, becomes a better person and father, and that he and Gabe can actually work through the trauma and come out stronger. I want Kody to apologize, and for them to rebuild a healthy father-son relationship. But, and this is a big but, I really hope this doesn't turn into a guilt trip extravaganza where Gabe is pressured into folding back into Kody and Robyn's circus. Whenever tragedy hits a family, there's this classic routine. Everyone piles on the kid with no day is promised, and you don't want regrets. Yeah, thanks for the emotional manipulation, but no thanks. Gabe needs a genuinely healthy relationship with his dad, not one that's shoved down his throat under pressure, because guess what? That just means he'll end up abused all over again, with even less chance of setting boundaries next time. Remember that dinner at Garrison's? When Gabe summed up the Secret Santa drama as Robyn was trying to gaslight us into giving her special treatment? I was honestly in awe. There she was, being terrible as usual, but Gabe nailed it in one sentence. That shows me his emotional radar is sharp, and I genuinely hope he can navigate the messy road ahead. Of course, I also hope Kody finally gets his head out of his ass and meets his adult kids where they are, not where he wants them to be. Fingers crossed for all involved. Speaking as someone estranged from siblings, when I heard my estranged sister died, someone I'd been close to until everything fell apart, it felt like a stranger died. I knew I should have felt something, but I didn't. I skipped her funeral. I wasn't about to pay respects to someone who publicly disrespected me. Sure, I feel a twinge of guilt now and then, but mostly, I don't. Estrangement is like divorce. There's a reason those people aren't in your life anymore. And honestly, I don't see how Kody can ever fix what he's done to his kids. Alright, here's a hot take. Maybe unpopular, maybe not, but I'm tossing it out there anyway. I totally get who Kody and Robyn are, and no, I'm not defending their actions or behavior. But seriously, all the social media outrage, blaming them for Garrison's decision to end his life. Come on. Yes, sure, family drama probably didn't help. But blaming Kody and Robyn, that's just narrow-minded. We get what? 10-second clips of their lives on TV? Mostly focused on drama and conflict. People act like those tiny snapshots are the whole story, but guess what? These are real people with full lives we don't see. There's so much about Garrison's struggles we don't know. His mental health status, whether he was in therapy or on meds. Some medications literally come with suicide risk warnings. And let's not forget possible alcohol addiction or the fact that he served in the military. Yeah, that can bring its own mess. It was probably a cocktail of things, many private and painful. It's heartbreaking that his father was estranged from him. Life's too short, and regrets pile up fast. But pinning it all on Kody and Robyn doesn't change the fact that this whole family is suffering a tragic loss. It doesn't change that Garrison was wrestling with his own demons and ultimately made a devastating choice. Social media loves to throw blame around like confetti, but maybe we should open our minds a bit instead of just attacking. Honestly, I hope this tragedy is a wake-up call for Kody, though it's awful it took something so devastating. Hopefully, the family can find forgiveness, heal, and some peace. May Garrison rest in peace and be remembered as the beautiful soul he was. Now, here's the kicker. I'm not blaming Kody outright, but the guy did shun his son, called him terrible names on national TV, and declared him dead to him. Does that make him responsible for Garrison's death? No. Does it mean he played a role and has to live with that forever? Absolutely. And another unpopular opinion: posting nasty comments on Kody's social media. That's just insane. He knows what he's done, and he's got to live with it. I doubt he or Janelle are scrolling Instagram right now. They're busy grieving. Also, those "send love to the kids" posts. Yeah, well-meaning but kind of tone-deaf. The siblings are going through a living nightmare of grief, guilt, anger, and confusion. It's presumptuous to think they're finding comfort on Reddit or Instagram. Those posts mostly help fans comfort each other, which is great, but let's not kid ourselves that the family is sitting there reading them and feeling uplifted. Through Garrison's passing, many of you have admitted you've also lost a child. And honestly, I've tried to dodge most of the shop talk about it because, well, it hits a little too close to home. 30 years ago, I lost my beautiful daughter. The first decade? A total nightmare. But here's the thing. You actually do heal if you slog through every messy stage of grief over and over again. To all of you now part of the Dead Kids Club, the club nobody ever wants to join, I'm here to say, give yourself some grace. Give yourself permission to feel every awful, confusing emotion exactly when it hits. No schedule, no shame. This mama's sending giant, awkward hugs to all the moms and dads out there, especially Janelle and Kody. For me, it's been almost 27 years since I lost my son, and let me tell you, it still sucks. The early years after he died at 21, practically unbearable. The first Thanksgiving, first Christmas, first birthday without him. Torture. First and last day of school. You bet. Watching classmates get married and have kids. Yeah, that still stings. But here's the twist. Time becomes your frenemy. The raw, stabbing grief doesn't vanish, but it softens. Most days, I'm genuinely grateful for what I have, yet my son is never far from my mind. Oh, and before I forget, sorry for your loss of your beautiful daughter. I should have said that from the start. We lost our son 3 years ago, and I like to think of the child loss community as the most loving club you never wanted to join, and one you definitely don't want to see anyone else join. I'm doing a rewatch, mostly for the Robert, aka Garrison, scenes, because honestly, who doesn't love watching him grow up? So there he is, at his girlfriend's house for dinner, all set on making the rolls. Classic move. Christine C. asks if he wants to tackle the recipe solo, or if she should jump on a call and guide him through it. Naturally, Garrison chooses the "please stay on the line and walk me through every step" option. Because who doesn't want their cooking experience doubled in time and stress? But here's the kicker. Christine actually does stay online with him. She gives him her full attention as he attempts Grandma Danielle's, or something close, seriously, whose grandma's name is that hard to spell, legendary roll recipe. I mean, let's be real. Everyone's busy juggling a million things, yet Christine carved out the time to be that patient guide. That alone makes me think she and Jen J are the MVP moms of the season. No eye rolls, no "I've got better things to do" attitude. Just genuine, slow-breathing support. It's one of those small, beautiful moments that they, and we, will look back on and smile about forever. Christine just has that vibe, like she'd be the kind of woman who'd scoop you up if you were lost at the mall, buy you a pretzel, and somehow make the whole ordeal less terrifying. She's just good people, and honestly, we need more of that. So remember when Kody literally melted down his wedding ring? Yeah, that charming moment from Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 16. Kumari exploding like I've never seen before. But what really set her off, was it the ring getting incinerated, or Christine blabbing about it? Let's break it down. The melting of the ring isn't just some jewelry mishap. it's a brutal symbol of rejection. For Mary, the tiniest shred of dignity she had left in that messy situation was knowing that at least nobody else knew what a disaster her marriage had become. Melting your spouse's wedding ring is savage enough, but having everyone else see that pain, that's next-level humiliation. When Mary asked about it, I tried really hard to feel her pain. Honestly, I can't imagine living through that level of rejection and public embarrassment. And the way Kody dropped that bomb. Cold, cruel, and egotistical. Yep, classic Kody. Before the ring story even came up, Mary was on this whole I have my own story, my own truth kick, repeating it like a mantra to convince herself she's finally taking control after years of hiding and lying for Kody. Side note, I'm crossing my fingers she's penning a tell-all book. The problem? Christine sharing that ring story forced Mary to either confirm or deny this excruciating truth before she was ready. So much for autonomy. Mary just got blindsided again, hitting a nerve at the worst possible time. Now, to be fair, Christine probably shouldn't have spilled the beans. That story wasn't hers to tell. But here's the kicker. It completely shatters the narrative Mary's been desperately clinging to for years. You know, the one where Kody begged her to stay for the kids, where Robyn supposedly never took her place, and where the infamous catfish scandal made Kody the victim, while Mary was the betrayer. Meanwhile, the real betrayal was Kody melting the ring all along. So yeah, it's a cocktail of anger, humiliation, and shattered illusions. Mary knew that if this story got out, the public would finally see her for what she is. Someone who stayed in a sinking ship way past the point of reason. But it also wasn't Christine's story to tell, which just adds another layer of messy betrayal. Listening to Janelle talk about Logan and Michelle's wedding, I couldn't help but feel a bit sorry for her. You know, she really seemed to be missing that special connection with the father of her child, Kody. And let's be honest, it's not like she's desperate for a full-blown marriage with him anymore. Just that basic old-fashioned connection. Because when your kid is having a big moment, wouldn't you want to actually enjoy that feeling with the other parent instead of dealing with all the drama? She seemed to be mourning more than just the lack of Kody's support. It was the whole family vibe that was missing. You know, the whole, we're in this together thing that should come naturally at a big event like this. Instead, it was overshadowed by adult issues. Because of course, why wouldn't it be? Janelle always thought Kody was her best friend. Now, not so much. That's what she really missed. The friendship, the family unity, the simple stuff. She probably hoped Kody would treat her and their kids differently than he treated Mary and Leon or Christine and her kids. But the wedding? It was a harsh reminder that whatever was broken between them is never getting fixed. And let's not forget, Kody always put Logan on a pedestal, but Robyn? She wouldn't even let Kody be comfortable with Logan. How tragic is it that the best moments are tainted by reminders of all this mess? Anyone else just waiting for Kody and Robyn to crash and burn financially? Come on, who else is secretly savoring that delicious taste of KRMA? Look, I don't usually wish bad things on people, especially strangers. But after this week's episode, I'd honestly loathe nothing more than for the OG wives to drag Kody to court and sue him for every last cent. Imagine them finally struggling, actually broke. Wouldn't that be the ultimate justice? The best part of this season? It's finally crystal clear that Kody and Robyn straight up stole from the original 3 wives and used them like a couple of freeloaders. And guess what? They got away with it. GRR. Seriously, Still Praying Sister Wives gets canned, and they spin off a show with just Mary, Christine, and Janelle. That's the only way to keep the real drama alive. Also, yeah, Christine's pettiness was getting old, but honestly, they deserve it. Kody has literally said his biggest fear is being poor. Well, karma's got a message for him. Surprise, it's already here. From what I hear, all those investments are jokes. Most of those fancy paintings are just prints, not originals. The car fleet? Already depreciated to junk status. And don't even get me started on the properties. He'll have to cough up big to Miri and Chanel. I'm convinced their worst nightmare, being broke, is already reality. They're just so deep in denial, and each other, they haven't figured it out yet. Meanwhile, Christine is the one actually footing the bills. Mortgage, utilities, insurance. And let's not forget, she had to scrape together the coinsurance for Yisibel's surgery. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn, diabolical and greedy as ever. So here's the deal with Robyn and Kody's whole dynamic. At first glance, Robyn walks in as this helpless damsel, showering Kody with praise and attention like he's some kind of king. Sweet, right? But fast forward a bit, and surprise, she's actually the one calling the shots. How do we know? Oh, just little things like talking over him, slapping a hand over his mouth mid-sentence, and throwing attitude like confetti. Classic power moves. Robyn even openly admits she has to ask Kody to help with the kids, and guess what? He actually listens. So yeah, she's definitely got him on a leash. Now, let's talk about Kody. The poor guy was blinded by her looks and the way she made him feel like the center of the universe. His ego ballooned faster than you can say polygamy. But here's the kicker. He's watched her sabotage her ex by dropping nasty hints and then snatching his kids away. He's seen her blame his kids for her own kids' discomfort. He's watched her throw shade at his other wives for not rolling out the welcome mat. And yet, he's so hooked on her that he basically lost everyone else. There's a part of him that still thinks of Robyn as the adult in the room. Because let's face it, this man needs a lot of hand-holding. Unfortunately, he picked someone who's not exactly a nurturing guide, but more like a puppeteer with questionable motives. I wouldn't be shocked if Kody's biggest fear is being completely alone. Abandonment issues much? Robyn's playing a subtle but effective game of emotional abuse, isolating him until he's dependent on her. For now, he has a place with her, but does he even see the trap? Or is he secretly loving the feeling of being wanted, maybe even protected? He throws around the word loyalty like it's a magic shield. But real loyalty means someone's got your back, especially when you don't see the danger yourself. Will he ever wake up and smell the manipulation? Probably not. His narcissism will keep him from looking in the mirror or owning his part in the mess. Accountability and vulnerability? Nah, way easier to play the victim. Just ask Robyn. She's got that down to an art. Honestly, the OG3 and their older kids weren't fooled for a second. I'm just glad they're out of the drama, especially now that Robyn's crying victim because the OG13 kids aren't sending birthday wishes to her kids. Talk about a soul-sucking energy vampire. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.